What's up everyone, this is JR Production X, and in this video we're going to have a comparison with the iPad 4th generation Microsoft Surface and the iPad mini. So let's get started. To start out with, I'm not going to have a speed test on these devices because I already have videos covering that. If you'd like to see that, just click on the annotations down below. The displays on the iPad 4th generation and the Surface look absolutely amazing. The Surface has a 9.7 inch diagonal LED screen with a resolution of 2048 by 1536 with a 264 pixels per inch. The Surface has a 10.6 inch screen and it's a clear type HD display with a resolution of 1366 by 763 with an aspect ratio of 16 by 9, which is also known as widescreen. The iPad mini has a screen of 7.9 inches diagonal and the resolution is 1024 by 768 with a pixel density of 163 per inch. Now I have to say, pictures and videos really do stand out on the iPad 4th generation and the Surface, but they look subpar or normal only on the iPad mini. What we're going to look at is hardware. For the 4th gen, we have the new docking at the bottom with the home button right there. On the left hand side we have nothing. On the top we have a 3.5mm head jack, a mic in the middle, and right here we have a power button. On the right side of the device we have a volume up and down rocker, and we also have a lock button. As for the back side, we have the speakers towards the bottom, and we also have a camera and the Apple logo. For the Surface, on the right hand side we have a connector to charge it, a USB port. To the right of the USB port we have a micro SD-XC card slot, and then it's going to let you add up to 64 gigabytes of extra storage, and we also have a speaker. On top of the device we have a power button and 2 more speakers. On the left side of the device we have another speaker, a 3.5mm head jack, volume up and down rocker, and a little indent right here to kick out the stand. On the front of the device we have the front facing camera. We have a home button right here. I really like the design of this too. Someone that doesn't know about the device, it will be kind of hard to find it because it just looks like a logo, but it's also a function one too, which is pretty cool. On the back of the device, all we have is the Windows logo. And we have a little bit more of information if you flip up the stand, just saying it's a 32 gigabyte. And for the iPad mini, on the bottom we have the new connector, speakers on both sides. On the right hand side we have a volume up and down rocker and a lock button. On top we have a power button, a mic in the middle, and a 3.5mm head jack. We have nothing on the left hand side, and on the back side it's just all black with the Apple logo, and we have the camera up on top. All 3 of these devices have pretty nice cameras, and I do have videos covering a camera test, so if you'd like to click on that, the link is going to be on the screen. Performance on all 3 devices are pretty good, especially on the 4th gen and Surface. The 4th gen is rocking the dual-core A6X chip with quad-core graphics. The Surface has an NVIDIA T30 chip with 2 GB of RAM. And the iPad mini only has a dual-core A5 chip. Both these tablets right here are great for heavy-hitting applications, or if you use this a lot and open up a lot of apps. While the iPad mini does tend to show some lag if you have a lot of apps open or if you're trying to use a heavy-hitting application. Now, battery life on all 3 of these devices are really great. On the iPad mini I got up to about 9 hours, while on the iPad 4th generation I got up about the same, around 9 hours. While on the Surface I got a little bit less battery life, I only got about 7 to 8 hours. Another function that the Surface has over the iPads is that it does come with a stand already built in, and you can take the stand and you can add different features such as a keyboard, and it snaps into place just like so. One thing to note, if this is one of the biggest selling points for the Surface, you can also buy one for the iPad and buy a Bluetooth keyboard, so that's not that big of a deal right there. Another huge thing to note would have to be the App Store. The App Store for the Windows, I would have to say, is absolutely horrible. There's no apps. I would have to give the App Store for Windows a rating of about 2 out of 10. There's very few apps I could find that are on both Android and iOS, but it's not on Windows. In my opinion, that is a huge negative for the Surface. Another thing you have to look at between deciding between these tablets is what kind of other devices do you have. Do you already have a Windows 8 computer or a MacBook Pro? The biggest difference between all three of these devices is size. Now if you're looking at something more for portability and you're taking this on the go a lot, I would recommend the iPad mini. If you are trying to choose between one of these three devices, the biggest thing I'd have to come down to is what you're going to use this for. If you're someone that likes to do a little bit of apps and use some function for their tablet, I would recommend the 4th Gen or the Surface. Now if you're deciding between both of these devices, it comes down to some other options. I would definitely recommend the iPad over the Surface if you already have an iPhone or a Mac computer, because you will be used to the iOS software and you already be in the framework of Apple. There is a little bit of a learning curve that comes with the Surface. Fully get used to it. So if you're someone that's impatient or does not want to learn it, I would not go with the Surface. If you're traveling and on the go a lot, all these devices do offer LTE and 4G speeds. Tell me down below which one do you have or which one are you looking to buy. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up. It really does help out the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. And this is JR Production X signing off. Peace.